Electric cars just exceeded 50% of all car sales in China for the first time in history. The Chinese government predicted that this would happen in 2028, but it's already happened in 2024. If this isn't the writing on the wall, if this isn't the end of legacy auto in China, then I don't know what is. By the end of this year, many experts predict that 60% of all cars sold in China, which is by far the world's biggest car market, put it this way, 1 in 3 cars sold every single day, 1 in 3 are sold in China. That means that car manufacturers who have relied upon China for billions of dollars in profits, for billions of dollars in sales, they can no longer do that. Companies such as Nissan, Toyota, the Volkswagen Group, many legacy automakers, they have relied on China. That is about to end. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to see you. EV sales are taking off in China, and therefore China is also breaking new records. This year, their global exports of vehicles have grown 31%. Their nearest competitor for exports is Japan. Japan's in second place now. Japan's exports have declined this year. So China's in a very powerful position. Speaking of new Chinese EVs, guys, I'll be at the EV show in Melbourne this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'll be doing a keynote speech on the Saturday, but I'd love to see you there at the show. I'll put a link in the description below to getting cheap tickets, and you can come and check out some of the new Chinese EVs that are going to be at the show. Xpeng, Zeekr, and Polestar. There's going to be a number of different cars that'll be at the show. Now, yeah, there'll be some legacy automakers there as well, but yeah, moving on. Anyway, China's retail sales of EVs continued to show growth in July. Sales exceeded 50% for the first time in history. In July, retail sales of passenger NEVs in China totaled 880,000. The Chinese government estimated it would be 860,000, so 20,000 more were sold than the estimates made by the government. So far this year, China's cumulative retail sales of EVs is 5 million. 5 million. That's up by 34% year over year. Isn't the media telling us that EV sales are going down, collapsing, shrinking? There's apparently, from what I've seen from the mainstream media, there's millions of cars gathering dust in China. Well, yeah, actually you're right, there is, but they're not EVs. They're internal combustion engine vehicles from mainstream legacy automakers. So far this year, 5 million sales means growth of, what was that? 34%. Wholesale sales of China's passenger NEVs from July 1st to 31st were 955,000. So 1 million sales in a single month of plug-in hybrids and electric cars. Well, and hydrogen cars. Hydrogen cars are in this list as well, but they make up about 0.00001%. So far this year, sales are at, I believe, actually, if you include commercial NEVs, they were at 5.6 million, which is, yeah, growth of 30% from the same period last year. As per cnevpost.com, EV sales growth in China has been relentless. On the back, primarily though, of increased plug-in hybrid sales from BYD and other manufacturers like Chery. But then you look at car manufacturers like Zeekr. Zeekr's car EV sales have increased this year by 100%. You've got companies like Xiaomi. Xiaomi have already delivered 100,000 EVs this year. Incredible. They're delivering 10,000 a month. So these numbers truly are staggering. So what all of this means is that for the first time in history, EV sales have broken the 50% mark in the world's biggest car market. Around 24 to 28 million cars are sold per year in China. What does that mean for the future though? What are we going to hit? Well, I believe by the end of this year, EVs, plug-in hybrids, EVs, NEVs they're called, will hit 60% penetration in China. But by the end of next year, that could be closer to 80%. And one of the key reasons for this is because of the decline in the cost of batteries. Now, two things are happening at once. Battery costs have gone down because the raw material costs of lithium, of copper, of nickel, of cobalt, all of those have continued to come down, and they're at historic lows in China. In addition to that, battery energy density has improved. So for the same amount of material, not only last longer, an overall longer lifespan, but they have higher energy density. So, for example, what that means is you can take the same amount. Let's say you wanted 50 kilograms of raw materials to create a battery. Well, now you can essentially use only 40 kilograms to get the same amount of battery capacity. So what that is leading to is many experts saying that EV prices will continue to come down. Prices go down, car manufacturers make more, it's cheaper for them to make more cars. The more cars you make, the cheaper it is for each single one to be produced. It's like a virtuous cycle. And what that means as well, internal combustion vehicles become more expensive to produce. As they become more expensive, EVs become cheaper, and voila, what happens? Well, internal combustion will be dead. I'm sticking to my belief that by 2030, the gas-powered engine, the diesel engine, will be finished. So I'm warning you, do not buy a new one. Now, if you need a second-hand car for whatever reason, you need a gasoline-powered car or a diesel car, I understand that. But do not buy a new one. I don't want you to get screwed. Guys, I warn people, don't buy a Fisker car. I got a message today from someone saying, I'm sorry I didn't listen to you. I'm underwater by $70,000. I criticized you at the time you made that video. I'm warning you. The same thing will happen. Norway, the same thing has happened. Norway has hit a new record with EVs, 92%. People are still buying internal combustion engine vehicles in Norway this year, last year. What do you think they're worth now? Thanks for watching.